4 secret ways to understand the nature of the other person. You can understand the person's true nature with these 4 things, so it would be good to check them out. First, let's look at the attitude toward the weak. The person's personality appears in the attitude toward the weak. No matter how nice they appear on the outside, their nature eventually comes out when dealing with the weak. Therefore, if you want to know what kind of person the other person is, it is better to observe how he treats the weak. When dealing with a relatively weak person than yourself, if they do this, you should be careful at a distance. First, they do not hesitate to show an attitude of neglect, contempt, and belittling the other person. A person who shows this attitude when dealing with the weak is a person who considers the other person to be lower than himself and does not respect him personally. Such a person may try to use the weak for his own benefit, deceive, or cause damage. I also have to cut off immediately because I am a sincere and unreliable person. So I do not know when I will be treated like this. Second, show off your superiority and create an attitude and situation that cleverly forces you into a coercive atmosphere. A person who shows off his superiority when dealing with a weak opponent is a person dominated by a desire for recognition. These people force their opinions or methods on the other person, boast their success and talents, and force and emphasize their help or mercy. You should keep away from the relationship, so that you can be someone who wants attention and praise only for yourself, not the other person. Third, they show an attitude of boasting about helping others or asking for a price. A person who boasts of helping when dealing with the weak and shows an attitude of demanding a price is a person who expects a price or reward for his or her actions. They want to get back their gratitude, respect, or something, and they want to let others know that they have helped them, and they want to use it as their public virtue to show it to others in public. It is better to stay away from people because they are people who want recognition, return, or pay for their actions. Second, the attitude toward time. That person's sense of responsibility arises from their attitude toward time. No matter how busy or difficult you are, being on time is to show respect and trust to the other person. Therefore, if you want to know what kind of person the other person is, it is good to check how important and how accurate he is. First, someone who thinks they may be late for an appointment. These people are most likely to be insincere about the trivial matters. These people may break the promised time, make excuses, and do not contact the situation in advance. Consider a time commitment as a person. You can never trust because it is stealing precious time from yourself and others. Second, people who waste and ignore time. These people are likely to be people who do not value their time or the time of others. These people are not good at managing time, are always pressed for time, and cannot make the most of their time properly. After all, it is likely that you will not be able to achieve your goals or plans. So it is better not to get close to them. Third, the attitude of drinking alcohol shows the person's nature. Before drinking alcohol, if a noble and humble person turns violent after drinking, it is who they really are. This is because alcohol unmasks and reveals hidden emotions and thoughts. Therefore, if you want to know what kind of person the other person is, you should look at how he or she looks when drinking. First, someone who overdrinks or forces you. People who show this attitude are those who do not know their limits or ignore others. These people are drunk, dependent on alcohol, or make excuses for drinking. Eventually, it harms not only one's own health and safety, but also the health of others. Second, people who talk or act rudely while drinking. These people are people who cannot control their emotions or thoughts while drinking. Some people swear, fight, slander others, and use violence while drinking. Eventually, you will become a person who hurts or causes pain to yourself or others, so you should stop immediately. People who avoid responsibility or forget after drinking alcohol. He is a person who is not responsible for his or her actions. Some people say that they make excuses or lose their memories without apologizing for mistakes at drinking parties. Since he or she has no regrets or consideration for his or her actions, interpersonal relationships are not deep. Fourth, the attitude of talking to people. The attitude of talking to people reveals the person's interpersonal skills. Humans are animals that instinctively like to talk about themselves. However, monopolizing the right to speak by yourself is a person who lacks consideration and interest in the other person and lacks caution. So it is better not to get too close to them. Respecting, listening, and understanding the other person's opinions and feelings are the key to building healthy and happy relationships. Therefore, if you want to know what kind of person the other person is, it is good to carefully examine how he or she talks to people. First, people who talk too much, too little, or too fast or slow. People who show this attitude are seen as people who are not confident in their own words, or are not interested in what others say. These people do not express their thoughts or emotions well while talking, or they do not grasp other people's thoughts or emotions well. After all, it is better not to put yourself too close to someone who has difficulty communicating with others. Second, a person who lies, exaggerates, criticizes, or curses while speaking. A person who shows this attitude is seen as a person who has no honesty, respect for others, or courtesy in his or her words. When speaking, this kind of person can undermine his or her credibility or dignity and harm other people's reputation or mood. After all, you should distance yourself from others because you lack trust or respect from them. Third, a person who forces his or her opinion or method while speaking, ignores other people's opinions and methods, refutes them, scoffs at them, or ridicules them.